Right, I am back on the hunt for bluebells, and I have had some success, but limited success so far, and so I've done a bit more research this time, and I've come to a wood where an eyewitness had informed me, and I say an eyewitness, that would be my wife, had informed me that she had seen actual bluebells, and in good quantities, and so I have come to that location, and I can confirm that there are bluebells around me, so I think we might be onto a winner today. So once I've got this sorted out, we shall get on with the task of photographing them. And so what this video is going to be about is what we need and how do we do it. So I'm thinking the first thing, it goes without saying really, that we're going to need is bluebells. Before we've even thought about what equipment we're going to need, we need some bluebells. It may also help if we've got some idea of what kind of shot we're looking for. Unfortunately, during that last piece to, or this present piece to camera, my microphone had gone to sleep because it hadn't been used for more than a few minutes, and I forgot to turn it back on again. So I'm just going to do a little bit of overdub here. What I'm explaining in this piece is basically the equipment that I needed to have with me for this shoot. So it started off with the camera, which was my Nikon Z7 II. I do have a Z6 II, but for this case where we're taking photographs of the bluebells, I really wanted as much detail as possible, so I opted for the Z7 II because it's just simply got more megapixels. I'm using a remote release. Now I could just put the camera on the 2-second or 5-second timer for releasing each shot, but honestly I was getting a little bit bored with waiting, and so I put the remote release cable on. Also, because the sun was coming in and out very quickly, I needed to get the shot when the light was right. I've got on the camera a polarizing filter, and that just helps, particularly when this time of the year we've got all these, some quite vivid new fresh greens coming out, just a little bit more pop to those colours, just to make the most of those. In terms of the lens, I opted here just to use my 24 to 200mm lens. This is the Nikon Z f4 to 6.3. I don't need a really wide aperture for this. It's a pretty sharp lens. It's not the sharpest tool in the box, so to speak, but it's good enough for this purpose. It's a nice all-rounder, and for most of the shots I was finding that the sweet spot really was somewhere around about 50mm. You zoom out too wide, then you kind of lose that carpet effect on the shots. I was using a tripod as much as anything just to get some more height. I wanted to make sure that not only were the shots nice and still in terms of sharpness, but also I wanted to be looking down on this carpet of bluebells as much as I could, and so just putting the center column up, which I know some people think is a big no-no, but honestly I wouldn't worry about it for this sort of situation. I'm not doing 30-second long exposures or anything like that. So get some height and what else? Oh, the right light. Just so I spent quite a lot of time just waiting in the woods for the right light conditions. So for quite a lot of the time it was just relatively grey and overcast, and then every so often the sun would pop out, or we'd get some soft sunlight. That seemed to work quite nicely with some sort of dappled light and shade within the woods. I quite like it when we've got parts of the image in slightly brighter sunlight, slightly warmer tones, and some of it in shade. And so just picking out those highlights within the woods work quite well as well. Right, okay, so enough of that, let's get back to the video. So while I do a little bit of walk and talk, this might be the time before I forget to explain what I'm actually looking for. And what I'd really like to do is find a good broadleaf section of the wood with some mature trees with a fair bit of space between them. That classic carpet of bluebells, and enough light and space from open space towards the west, so that as we get towards sunset we get some nice warm backlighting of that scene. That's what I'm after. The other shot I'd like, which I'm not going to get today because it's coming on towards late afternoon, would be an early morning shot looking the other way towards sunrise, and ideally with a little bit of mist. So I just had a long chat with a local couple who have advised me where I should be able to find bluebells. It's always worth asking people for a bit of local knowledge, and ironically it's pretty much back where I parked the car, but just a little bit the other side from where I headed off in the first place. So I'm going to head back there now, and hopefully I'm going to find the right kind of location. So this is a rather gorgeous scene, and this is where I've come on the recommendation of the couple that I bumped into, and I'm trying to frame it up roughly in as I've got it on the back of the camera here, and that's got to be pretty close to it. I've had to focus stack this on f11, and I've focus stacked it because the tree in the near distance, in the foreground here, near distance? Tree in the foreground is about 6 meters away, and so we've got some stuff here that's probably only about 3 meters away, all the way up to infinity. And at f11 on the focal length that I'm at, which is 50 mil, it's just not quite sharp in the distance if I focus at the tree. Got to say, I'm absolutely chuffed with that one. I think that could look really nice. So I'm going to bookmark this place, take a picture on the iPhone so I know exactly where it is. What I really like about this shot is the space that I've got between the trees and where I am, the main subjects here in terms of the trees are not overlapping each other, so I've got space between each of them, which is great, and I've got space in the foreground as well, just to really show off those bluebells. Well, that has been quite a day, really. I've no idea, really, I have no idea whether the dozens and dozens and dozens of compositions that I have shot will pay off. I think there's a couple in there. This is one of those occasions where you really can't go to just shoot one composition because, well, for a start you've got to find it in amongst this big forest. I've only really found the place I should have gone to, or ideally would have gone to at the beginning, because I stopped someone on a path who had local knowledge, otherwise I wouldn't have found it. It's still not really quite what I was looking for, because as the sun has set, what's happened is that it's got lost behind all the canopy and all the trees, and so the shade in the forest has just got deeper and deeper. And so this particular location, although it's on a down slope towards the setting sun, the canopy is just too deep really for it to for the sun to strike and backlight the bluebells in the way that I was hoping that they would do. But I think I've got quite close to it, an hour to hour and a half before sunset. What I still need, or would love to have in my portfolio, is a misty, sunlit dawn bluebell shot. I know that's very specific, but that's what I would like to get next. Don't know if I'm going to get it this year. The bluebells are early this year. I think the season's going to finish early. Lots of the areas that have got bluebells that I've been to, and I've been to a few now, they're really at the end of their game. And even here, where there's a strong patch of them still left, they've been around long enough that they're getting quite trodden down in places, unfortunately. So that might be it for this year. That might be it for this year. Tomorrow morning is going to be grey and wet. And at the moment, because of that, I'm not minded to try and travel out again. I don't think I'm going to get the kind of light that I would be looking for, and I haven't really got a location to go to. So I think that's going to be one for gathering a bit more intelligence for next bluebell season. Right, if you've made it this far, thank you ever so much for watching. I think you're great. Please do like, subscribe and share, and all those wonderful YouTube-y things that help my algorithm. I have recently finally got to 2,000 subscribers, which is quite small really. I'd love to get to a lot more than that. So it does help, so please do subscribe, keep coming back, and let me know your thoughts on this year's bluebell season. Have you been out yourself? Have you taken any shots? Have you got anything that you're really pleased with and that you think you would love to hang on the wall? I'd love to hear what your experiences of the bluebell season have been. Okay, bye for now.